For centuries, massive stone pyramids sat in silence. Deep in Central America, ancient temples and palaces slowly crumbled, hidden beneath heavy vines and roots. Whoever built these cities possessed sophisticated mathematics and a complex system of writing. They engineered massive urban centers, calculated planetary movements, yet left it all behind in the wilderness. These ruins present a stark contradiction. To anyone standing before them today, it seems impossible that a civilization this advanced could simply be erased by the forest. The abandonment of these cities didn't happen in a single generation. It was a process of centuries, a gradual thinning of life within the stone walls, rather than a sudden total catastrophe. These ruins reflect a deeply human story, one defined by the friction between a society's ambition and the environment that supports it. Long before these great cities dominated the skyline, scattered communities of farmers cultivated the harsh tropical lowlands. Over generations, those early settlements evolved into vast, highly organized urban centers. Unlike empires built around a single capital, the Maya operated as a fierce, interconnected network of independent city-states. Their rulers acted as both military commanders and divine figures. They constantly maneuvered against neighboring cities, forging alliances and testing rivalries to assert regional dominance. This intense competition sparked a rapid arms race. Kings demanded increasingly ambitious monuments to project power, aggressively expanding their territories to outpace their rivals. Relentless rivalry fueled their golden age, driving structural innovation and cultural growth. But maintaining that momentum required massive, continuous extraction of resources from the surrounding jungle. That pursuit of prestige extended to the sky. Maya scholars dedicated generations to observing the heavens, tracking celestial movements with extraordinary precision. They carefully recorded eclipses and measured complex seasonal patterns. They achieved an understanding of planetary movements that rivaled any civilization in the ancient world, all without telescopes. The resulting calendars were essential tools. They dictated the timing of agricultural cycles and allowed rulers to orchestrate elaborate ceremonies, linking their earthly authority directly to the rhythm of the cosmos. Understanding the sky gave Maya leaders a powerful, yet fragile illusion, the belief that they exercised absolute control over their environment. Sustaining heavily populated megacities requires intense agricultural engineering. The Maya systematically deforested vast tracts of dense jungle to plant crops and harvest timber for construction. This chart illustrates carrying capacity. As population climbs, it crosses the threshold of what cleared land can produce, creating a severe food deficit. Then, prolonged, unpredictable droughts caused available water to plummet, driving carrying capacity down sharply, crippling fragile reservoir networks. In response to this scarcity, the political network fractured. Rival kings escalated brutal military campaigns against neighboring states, desperate to secure whatever land and water remained. The labor and materials desperately needed to repair infrastructure and adapt agricultural techniques were instead diverted to fuel these endless conflicts. The systems that built their prosperity, relentless expansion and fierce competition, locked them into an inescapable trap of consumption and violence. There was no single day of destruction, no sudden event that erased the Maya. Instead, the cities experienced a slow suffocation over generations. Construction on grand monuments ground to a halt, and urban populations steadily thinned out. Political authority disintegrated region by region. Leaders proved entirely unable to solve the compounding crises of empty granaries and constant warfare. Eventually, the great urban centers fell completely silent. The crowded plazas emptied out, allowing the surrounding forests to slowly reclaim the stone architecture. The civilization did not fall to a single crushing blow. It quietly bled out from the weight of overlapping pressures. The most persistent myth about the Maya is that they simply disappeared into thin air. This LiDAR scan strips away the modern forest canopy, revealing vast, hidden networks of smaller settlements and agricultural terraces. It proves the people scattered and adapted, surviving outside the collapsed capitals. Millions of Maya descendants live throughout Central America right now. They continue to speak the languages and practice the traditions of their ancestors. Their history never truly ended. When their massive political institutions failed, the people adapted, evolving their culture to outlast the ruin of their own cities. These pyramids remain as a physical record of a universal risk. They demonstrate that high achievement, scientific knowledge, and remarkable intellect offer no immunity to environmental strain. Even the most prosperous societies will eventually fracture when they push their environments and their political networks past the absolute limit of sustainability. The grand monuments of competing kings will inevitably fall silent and return to the earth, but the resilience of the human beings who built them will always endure.